All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today, we are breaking down Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie guard Cody Mauch. He had a really strong performance against the Chicago Bears, made a lot of big-time plays that really highlighted, I think, what Tampa is looking to do on offense, both against the Bears and going forward. If you appreciate this content, please give us a like. Please give us any feedback you may have in the comment section below. Or if there's another player you want us to break down, let us know who that guy is in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get right into the film. All right, starting off here, we got Cody Mauch again. He's right there, number 69, the rookie. And the Buccaneers are starting here against the Chicago Bears, doing kind of a standard inside zone play. So you're going to get kind of zone blocking schemes here, working out tight end wise. You're going to get on the backside. You're going to get scoop actions, working to the backside linebacker. You're going to get trying to cut off this backside defensive tackle, this three technique. Again, he's called a three technique because he's on the outside shoulder of the tackle. The tight end's just trying to cut off that defensive end right there. The big block here, though, on this kind of inside zone is this kind of zone double team between the center and the guard, Cody Mauch. The center's going to try and work to take him over to try and reach him. Mauch's got to help him and stay on long enough and then come off and deliver a blow to the linebacker because the running back's taking a track like this and he's going to want to get north and south as soon as possible. Mauch is kind of the key man on this play, and let's see how he does. Again, there he is at right guard. Good double team. Good help up. Nicely done. This is just a good physical downhill run. Look at that. Look at that push. Look at how he stays on the linebacker. Edmonds never really even makes the play. You know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one of the more surprising teams in football because of plays like this, right? The Bears are in a run defense, right? They've got the safety down into the box, right? They've got 4 defensive linemen. This is not their pass rush group per se. This is a good, solid linebacking core that the Bears have in terms of playing the run. Edmonds is a good player. They just run right at them and get a really nice 7-8 yard run. This is why you're able to be successful. This is why Baker Mayfield is able to be successful. Is it the absolute prettiest thing in the world? No. The tight end, that looks not absolutely pretty, but he gets the job done. Backside. Again, 71 kind of trips and falls. They don't get him completely cut off, but it's good enough. But again, when you get this kind of physical nature, center is able to reach him. Cody Mauch comes off on the linebacker and drives him around. I tell you what, that is really good stuff. Makes it easy for the running back. Don't have to do anything special. Just get your head down, fall forward, get 7-8 yards. Again, this is how you win games in the National Football League. Look, obviously, if you have Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, one of the elite quarterbacks, it makes your life a lot easier as an offense. But I tell you what, if you can just hand the ball off on an inside zone and the running back literally does nothing special and you get 7-8 yards, that's good offense. And that's because of Cody Mauch right here. Great rep by the young rookie.
Yeah, Nick. And this guy, very fluid athlete. He looks like a natural athlete. And I think a lot of that is attributed to him coming into North Dakota as a tight end. This guy is a leaner, 300-pound guard, played tight end at the very beginning of his college career before becoming one of the best offensive linemen in college. I think that has a tribute to his athleticism, but don't you think his athleticism here, his want to get in there and kind of finish off Edmonds, this is some of the keys that the Buccaneers are going to love for this guy, just how athletic and fluid he is as a blocker.
He certainly is a great athlete, but I tell you what, you brought up his 1-2, his effort is contagious, right? This is a guy who finishes blocks. And he's got some things to develop. He can get a little thicker in some areas. But I tell you what, he's bullying Edmonds, staying on him. And I love the fact, look, he stays him on past the whistle a little bit. That's great stuff. You don't see that from a lot of veteran guys. Rookie comes in and he's able to do that. Again, it's really helpful. Look how easy this makes it for the running back. Just squeeze your head in there, stay on him. 44 gets to keep fighting, falls forward. Your offense can be successful if you can run 7-8 yards on inside zones. I mean, that's just, you'll win a lot of games. You're 2-0 because of plays like this. He's a great athlete. Cody Mauch is great help on the double team. Great effort by the center to reach him, by the way. Give credit to him too. But I tell you what, when you've got an athletic, really physical guy here who wants to finish people, you're going to have success. All right, on the previous play, Cody Mauch was on the play side of an inside zone running scheme. Here he's on the back side, but once again, he's the guy who creates the hole and makes it easy for a running back. But again, we've got an inside zone concept. So we've got the play side tight end and the play side tackle. These two guys are going to zone through the defensive end up to the play side linebacker here. Most likely the tight end is going to get the linebacker. The tackle is going to work up to the defensive end. We're going to get that zone double team that we saw Mauch in the center do the previous play, the same kind of action here. right? The center's going to look to kind of reach him. But on the backside here, this is a really good, what we call a tight scoot technique from the backside guard. So you want to get as vertical as possible, working through the shoulder and hip of this 3 technique. Again, we call him a 3 technique because he's on the outside shoulder of the guard, to make sure you give your tackle enough space to cut and reach him and scoop him while you work through and seal off the backside linebacker. Again, the goal here in a perfect world is to get the defense flowing that way and to have the running back read through it and then get up the field vertically and find a seam. If you can create a great seal here, it opens up an obvious cutback lane for the running back. And let's see what happens here. Look at that tight scoot technique, right? Look at that. You can see the seal right there. You can see the cutback lane open up. Watch what happens. He hits it, really productive run. Watch the flow of the linebackers. It just creates a natural opportunity of the running back to cut it up inside, but you don't get that unless you get this backside 3 technique scooped and cut off. And if you get up to the backside linebacker, that's exactly what happens. Look at that. I mean, that's spectacular stuff. It doesn't look incredibly impressive, right? It doesn't make the Twitter highlights. It doesn't look like, pancaking a guy 30 yards downfield, but staying vertical, helping your tackle cut off this 3 technique and then sealing off the backside linebacker. That's incredible stuff because it opens up a massive hole for the running back. Again, this is an inside zone scheme. Again, this is not a light box from the Chicago Bears. They are playing to stop the run. To get 6-7 yards on an inside zone running scheme makes it so easy for you to run your offense. It's one of the reasons why Baker Mayfield has been so efficient through the first 2 weeks. Look at that hole. Falls forward 6-7 yards. The running back literally has to do nothing because that's his natural track, gets north and south, falls forward. 2nd and 3. You want to win 2 games, start 2-0 your season when no one was expecting it? That's why. And it's because you get performances out of this offensive line from that guy, Mauch, right there, because this is awesome stuff. Help your guy seal off the 3 technique, get up to the backside linebacker. Credit to the running back for reading it and not messing it up. Finishes and runs hard. Great run. And again, what you're getting out of this young guard is really impressive stuff.
Yeah, Nick, and that is a beautiful seal by the offensive line. Mauch comes off that block perfectly, lights Sanborn up a little bit, stops him in his tracks. I think this is why you said this is why they're 2-0, because they're able to get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards per run here. And this is a team, any team really, if you can get that many yards in the run game, you're going to keep moving the chains and eventually that'll get you to the end zone. But it's just really, really impressive to me that this was an offensive line that people counted out. But I feel like the attitude, the grittiness of a guy like Mauch really gives a little bit of extra boost to this offensive line. This is the offensive line that is playing really, really good to start the season. What would you say, Nick?
I love the fact you bring up the boost that Mauch brings to this team because he really does. Because there's a lot of guards who may not be able to help that much on the support on the backside scoop there. And a lot of times what you'll see tackles, they'll put in a good effort, but they just can't get there. And so they don't really go extremely hard just because they just don't have a chance to because this backside 3 technique works across their face. Mauch has the athleticism to help and stay on there and still get up to the backside. What does that do? It gives 67, it gives Gedeke, I believe that's who that is, a chance to drive his feet and play at a high energy level himself. Look at Gedeke. Drive, finish on the pile. Helps push the pile forward. Again, if you have a guard here that doesn't do a good job with this, the backside tackle doesn't get the chance to play hard either. That's what we mean when we say it's contagious. He's not only making the blocks himself, he's giving other people the opportunity to play physical, to play fast, and make plays too. That's what a really talented, especially at the guard position, can do. He can open up opportunities for other offensive linemen to be physical, tough, play hard, compete. That's what we're seeing from Cody Mauch. All right, switching up to some pass protection. Again, this is one of the more challenging, or at least normally challenging for rookies, is the pass pro game. And here the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have called a protection where they're sliding to the left. So we're seeing the left tackle, left guard are going to take the gap to their left, and it's going to leave the right tackle and the right guard on an island here. Again, you see the linebacker walked up. It would essentially is basically a 3 technique, a B gap player, this guy right here. This is what Mauch is man on man against right now. But let's see what he does here because this is a really smart, savvy play from the young rookie. Again, linebacker walks, picks him up, drives him out. This is really hard to do. Let me go back all the way here. Again, because this guy right here, he has to treat that linebacker as if he is absolutely firing, right? He's threatening him right here. But here's where defenses get a little tricky with it. So you'll notice the Bears basically have 3 defensive linemen on the offensive left, right? That's usually strange, right? And they only have 1 lined up on the right over here. Usually you'll get 2 and 2 in a standard 4-down look, right? So here you can look at this and say, okay, this defensive lineman, number 93 for the Bears, will probably be working around here. And he eventually does. But you walk down this linebacker to threaten the rookie, number 69, Cody Mauch right here, and make Mauch not think that, oh, there's 3 defensive linemen to the left, 93 is coming at me. Instead, Mauch recognizes this is probably what's going on. Look how quickly he reacts from this linebacker walking away at the snap to seeing 93 come at him and the job he does to pick him up. Bang. I mean, that's just really good stuff. I tell you what, this is a smart guy. Obviously, coaching goes into it too, but he almost knows, he almost immediately looks away. I don't know if you remember during Hard Knocks with the New York Jets where there was that funny clip on social media where Aaron Rodgers saw a linebacker walk up and he said, back up, you're not coming. I feel like that's what Cody Mauch is thinking right here, staring at number 53 for Chicago. He's like, dude, I know you're not coming. You're just trying to trick me. I know 93 is coming right at me. Look where his head snaps, picks him up, drives him out. Baker Mayfield's able to complete the ball for a first down. This is a really savvy, smart play from the rookie here because this is something the Bears game planned to say, okay, passing situation, we'll confuse the heck out of number 69 right here. Look, he played at North Dakota State. He's a rookie. What does he know about complex NFL defenses? Well, Cody Mauch showed him this is a smart player. He knows a lot, and the Buccaneers have been grateful for it so far.
Yeah, Nick. And Mauch, let's be honest here. If this was the Colorado Buffs, he'd have a D on his jersey right now because he's a dog. They say in his draft profile, this is a guy who plays with a mean streak. He has never seen a block he didn't want to finish. And you look at him after the play here, he's still driving 93 drones. He's just on him. He doesn't stop until, like the whistle, maybe plus a little bit afterwards. This guy is a grinder. He's a road grader. He's absolutely a weapon for this Bucs offensive line, who, Nick, is all very young players. I think other than Feeler, the left guard, these guys were all drafted by the Bucs, with Wirfs being the oldest in 2020. This is a really young group of all homegrown talent by the Bucs, which I think is really impressive, wouldn't you say?
Well, especially you got to remember Jensen is hurt, right? Who obviously is a really good center, who, by the way, looks kind of similar and plays very similar to Mauch right here. Once Jensen comes back and is healthy, most likely next season, although there are reports that it may be career ending. I don't know exactly how that's going to shake out. Hopefully he comes back and eventually plays. If he does, I tell you what, they're going to have a dynamic center and guard combination with those two. But just looking at what Mauch already brings to the table right now at this point in his career, he plays like a veteran. All right, on the previous play, we saw a pass protection where Mauch was on the side with only 1 defensive lineman. Here he's on the side with the 3. Again, you can see the 3 Bears defensive linemen right there. All the way out here to this wide 9 technique, as we call them. You see the 1 defensive end over here on the left. Now, we know in all likelihood that means that this defensive tackle is working out this way. So Mauch can expect that number 93 for Chicago will most likely work at him. Gedeke will pick up this defensive end, but it won't be that simple. The Bears try to trick the rookie once again, but Mauch once again is up for the challenge. Let's see how he does. All right, you saw right away that guy leaves, but that's not, the Bears aren't just doing straight up pass rush on the other side. They're actually running a game. You're seeing this defensive tackle is going to work vertical up the field, trying to attack Cody Mauch and then go outside. We're going to see the defensive end loop all the way around, but Mauch picks it up very good. Comes around, delivers a strong punch. Physical player. Oh my goodness. This guy comes around. He thinks he's going to get a sack. Instead, he gets buried across the line of scrimmage or buried across the other side of the pocket. Phenomenal job by Mauch there. Look at this pocket, by the way. Long yardage passing situation. They're bringing people off the edge. There's a lot of bodies. This is a big time pass rush from the Chicago Bears. And Baker Mayfield has a beautiful, clean pocket to deliver this football down the field for a big play. Mayfield has played well. The receivers have done a good job, but this guy's up front, of course, Cody Mauch being a big part of that, has had a phenomenal first 2 games of the season. And it's because of picking up things like that. Again, recognizing what's in front of you. Talk about it all the time. Recognize it and react. Recognize you're on the side with the 3 defensive linemen. This guy's going away. Look at this guy. And if you see him go vertical and back out, expect the stunt. That's exactly what he sees. He goes away, vertical, back out, comes around, picks up the defensive end. Big play. This guy is ready for prime time. Cody Mauch is 100% ready for prime time. 2 games in his NFL career, he looks like a savvy vet, and the Buccaneers have to feel really good at what they got him in the second round.
Yeah, Nick. And this is a guy who's going up already. I know the Chicago Bears. I know it's a team who was one of the worst teams in the NFL last year, but they picked up a lot of additions on defense, and we cannot forget this guy who's looping around to Mauch is one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL. That's Yannick Ngakoue that he is blocking right there. He does an extremely good job just showing that already this guy is the real deal. He can go up against the best of the best and win. Like, he blows him up. He doesn't even get a chance to come at Mayfield because he picks it up so well. That's so impressive, Nick. This guy can go up against some of the best talent in the NFL already just 2 games into the season, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to matter if it's a defensive tackle, if it's like a 3 technique defensive tackle, if it's a nose guard like a 1 technique, or if it's a defensive end like Yannick Ngakoue. It doesn't matter the matchup. And we saw him in the running game blow up some linebackers. He can handle them all. It is so rare to see that from a guy, especially from a rookie. And I think it's just because he's just a great ball player, right? There's some physical attributes they probably like a little bit better if they had to pick a perfect prospect, all things being equal. But in terms of just being a smart, quality football player, he checks all those boxes, and those are the ones that really matter. All right, switching back up to the running game, and we're going actually a different direction now. You can see right guard, Mauch right there. Going to highlight him there for you. This is a gap running scheme. You're going to get a lot of double teams here up front, working up to that linebacker. You're going to get a base block on that defensive end. You're going to get double team right here, right guard, right tackle to the play side linebacker. Double team right here between the 2 tight ends to number 53. And basically, this is a gap scheme designed to run right at this double team. This double team block right here is absolutely critical. This doesn't work out perfectly. It's not how you draw it up if you're a Bucs offensive coordinator, if you're an offensive line coach. But I tell you what, when you look at the effort, we talked about it already, the effort, the 1-2, the drive, it works out pretty well for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of what Mauch brings to the table. Let's check it out. Again, the double team, that's not good, right? That's what we call a split double team right there. The defensive lineman kind of did a swim arm over move, which is kind of an interesting technique to use in the running game, but it was effective, right? He split the double team, right? They're not going to get a lot of movement. You want movement at the point of attack, ideally, right? Vertical, horizontal, whatever it may be. You want this guy dislocated so that we can get a running back a clear picture, get this guy dislocated, get one of these guys up to the linebacker. Doesn't look good right there, right? And that's really right there. That's on Mauch. He's the guy that's got to step into him and make sure that doesn't happen. The tackle's providing the help. He doesn't do a great job there. But I tell you what, look how the reaction. Not a great job. Stays on him, gets on 43, stays on 43. It becomes a pretty productive play. And again, talk about high effort. Look at Gedeke keep driving. Really good. Like, again, when you freeze it right there, that looks bad. And I tell you what, I played a lot of my coaches in college when they would watch tape and they'd grade us, they would stop film basically after 2 or 3 steps and say, that's a bad play. And it's not great start, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that's exactly what we see from the Bucs up front. Again, the 2-0 start, I'm sure you Bucs fans have seen this, right? Hasn't been pretty a lot at times, but it's been effective. It's gotten the job done, and that's what you're getting here. Look at that hole. Physical finish from the running back. Nicely done up front, overcoming a bad start, getting up to the linebacker, opening up the hole. This hole is opened up because of Mauch, by the way. Again, doesn't do a great job on the double team, to say it, put it mildly, but he gets on the linebacker, opens up the hole, gives his fellow offense lineman a chance to push somebody around, ends up being a really nice play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, the Bears are doing everything they can to stop the run, but with Mauch's effort, intensity, and physical nature, they just can't get it done.
Yeah, Nate, this is truly a great example of why this guy is such a good player, because we always see ideal circumstances, what happens. Of course, if everything goes right, it's easy to have the right answer all the time. But right here, we see something, like you said, unconventional. Swim move into the run game, splits the double team. Not the ideal circumstances for Mauch. He's kind of on his back feet, reeling, trying to figure out what to do. And this guy thinks on his feet. He doesn't get flustered. He finishes the play, and as we say, another productive running play for this Tampa team. Those old school high school football coaches would love this. 3 yards, cloud of dust. That's going to get you a first down every single time. But Nick, isn't this just his inability to get flustered at a mistake? This is really impressive by the young rookie.
Oh yeah, his competitive nature, and it's also his intelligence, right? He's a very smart player because even when things go awry, he hangs on it for a long time and then comes off, right? So even though the technique isn't there and the execution at the beginning isn't there, or like right there, obviously that's not ideal. He still hangs on the double team enough, good timing, comes off, keeps his eye on the right guy, smart, savvy player, has the drive and competitiveness. And again, we talked about it in the opening of this video. Running the football, just inside run. Running back doesn't have to do too much except play hard, run hard. You get 5 yards. And that was with the defense doing a good job. I mean, this is demoralizing for a defense, right? They actually play this okay. They avoid some blocks. This linebacker avoids that double team here. The guy we talked about, the 3 technique here, split that double team, number 93. Defensive end, 94 on the backside, squeezes down the hole. Like the defense, they feel like they did a good job, but it doesn't matter. They still get 5 yards running right down their throat because of the effort and intensity of guys like Cody Mauch. All right, we're going to end on a good play here. This is really well called, really well drawn up from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and pretty well executed. So we're going to have 2 pullers. We're going to have the right tackle pull and kick out 94. Tight end's going to work up and seal the backside linebacker. We're going to get a down block right here from Mauch. We're going to get the center pulling for 29 or number 9, depending on who's most dangerous. And we're just going to get backside kind of cutoff kind of plays here from the backside. And this is going to be just an outside run here, trying to hit the seam right there. This is really well executed. And I tell you what, Buccaneers fans, this is a sign of how close you guys are to being even better than what you've seen. All right, we see a good down block from Cody Mauch to get us going. We see the tight end working up to the backside linebacker, tackle pulling out. Again, when you play physical with defenses, they don't want to play physical with you. They jump around blocks, which is usually a very poor way to stop the run, as we see here. You get the center pulling around, number 70, gets clear, gets on 29, gets actually a piece of 9, and right here, I tell you what, this should have been a touchdown. This should have been this. Right now, the score's 20-17. They're trying to milk the game. This has to be, if not a touchdown, a 30, 40-yard kind of back-breaking run. Ends up being a pretty good run, obviously. First down, move the chains, good stuff. But this is the one element I think the Buccaneers are missing because this is beautifully drawn up, beautifully executed. Cody Mauch here to focus on him does a really good job. This is actually a pretty hard block because a lot of things can go wrong. You want to make sure that number 99, who's playing a 2-eye technique, call him a 2-eye because he's on the inside eye of the guard there. He doesn't get too much vertical penetration because otherwise, if he does get that, he'll blow number 70, the pulling center, off his track, which will obviously screw up the play. But you don't want to get too flat, too horizontal on this block because then number 99, again, that 2-eye technique could work back across the field and potentially make the tackle or at least get involved with the play. Mauch does a good job preventing both, lets the center clear, drives him upfield, completely clear of danger. It's well blocked across the board up front. Nice job by that tight end on the backside linebacker. Everybody does well. The center actually kind of gets a 1.5 here, gets 1 and then a piece of the safety. This should have been a touchdown, man. That's the one thing that the Bucs are missing. One elite playmaker at running back. Because I tell you what, they're getting there up front. This is a powerful, strong, physical football team we've seen through 2 weeks, and Cody Mauch has been a big part of that. If they can just get a little bit more explosive at running back, and if Baker Mayfield can keep playing the way he's been doing, watch out. Because with these guys up front, this offensive line, this 2-0 start's not a fluke. This is going to be a good football team all season long.